Hi, I'm Dr. Kimberly Harper from Feeling Fit and Fabulous in your 40s, 50s and beyond. And today I thought I'd hop on and answer a couple of questions that have come through so far. The first being, please help me to understand the difference between calories and kilojoules and weight loss and exercise. Okay, so let's just talk about that for a second. A calorie and a kilojoule are the same energy equivalent, just like a kilogram and a pound are the same weight equivalent. So to measure energy expenditure quantitatively, you measure energy expenditure in calories or kilojoules. Just like if you measured weight, you measured it in a kilogram or a pound, depending on where you're from. I am comfortable using calories, but 1 calorie is 4.2 kilojoules, 4.18 to be precise, but let's round it up to 4.2 kilojoules. So if you have 100 kilojoules, you divide it by 4.2 to get calories. So everything that you eat has an amount of energy that it gives your body to function on a daily basis. We measure that amount of energy that it gives you again in calories. So for example, 1 slice of brown bread would give you about 80 calories. All right. So different kinds of food give you different amounts of calories. And generally speaking, we break food down into different food groups known as proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. I always like to add an extra group called alcohol because alcohol is a little sly one. So let's look into that, shall we? So when we look at the different foods that are out there and we look at carbohydrates, 1 gram of carbohydrates will give you 4 calories. Okay. 1 gram of protein will give you 4 calories. So proteins and carbohydrates give you the equivalent amount of calories or energy. Proteins are used to build they're the building blocks in the body and are used to build your muscle and repair your body organs and tissues. Carbohydrates are excess carbohydrate is stored in your body as glycogen in the liver and in the muscles and glucose in the bloodstream. And your brain needs pure glucose to function. So cutting carbohydrates completely will make you very tired because your brain cannot use protein to function. However, in terms of the energy it gives you or the usable energy it gives you, proteins and carbohydrates have the same per gram. Fat, on the other hand, 1 gram of fat will give you 9 calories. Okay, so you can literally eat double the quantity of carbohydrate or protein for the same amount of energy. That is why eating fatty foods means that you're going to put on a lot of weight if you overeat fatty foods. Okay, it gives you double the amount of carbohydrates. For example, if you're going to have 2 slices of bread, which gives you around 160 calories, and you add a tablespoon of butter or 15 grams of fat, you are then going to be adding 145 calories to your sandwich. Okay, so that's why when you go and talk to nutritionists, they do tell you not to put a large amount of butter on your bread because you could have another 2 pieces of bread, which is more filling, for the same amount of energy. Okay. So let's talk about alcohol for a minute. Now, alcohol is very easy to drink. You know, if you do drink alcohol, you like a glass of wine, just be a bit more careful because alcohol has 7 calories per gram. However, what most people don't understand is most alcohol comes with carbohydrates as well. So you're going to have to add on 4 calories per gram. So in total, you're then looking at 11 calories. Okay, so it's very calorie intense. So cutting out the alcohol alone, if you are a person that likes a glass or 2 of wine with dinner, just cutting that out, if you are on a weight loss plan or a healthy eating plan, will be most helpful in your weight loss. Okay. So now if we look at losing weight, for those of you out there that actually want to lose weight and you go to me, well, how many calories are in a kilo of fat? If I want to lose fat and I want to lose, say, 3 kilos. So per kilo of fat is 7,700 calories. Can you all see that? Ah! Okay, so that's actually quite a lot, really, if you think about it. If you think about losing a kilo a week, that means there's 7,700 calories that you have to be in a deficit for in order to lose a kilo. So everyone knows that losing weight slowly is better, because what you want to do is you want to lose fat and not muscle, because the more muscle you lose, the lower your basal metabolic rate. So there's two things obviously that you want to be doing, and one is monitoring your diet in terms of eating more healthy food more regularly to increase that BMR. Two is to make healthier choices so you don't starve yourself. And three is, of course, to exercise, as we spoke about last time. So in order to lose, so let's just back up the track a little bit. With your exercise, and we talk about walking, running, cycling, and then a hard out run. So a walk, if you just walk, brisk walk for 30 minutes, you're going to be burning about 100 to 200 calories. Okay, so brisk walk for half an hour, you're going to burn 100 to 200 calories. And then I also spoke last time about the afterburn factor. You know, your heart rate's pretty stable. It doesn't stay elevated that much for that longer period after your walk, as opposed to sort of a more intense exercise. If you go for a 30-minute jog or a 30-minute run, you're going to burn around about 360 calories in half an hour. And if you go for a cycle, it's around 280 calories in half an hour. So a little hack on the exercise front, one of the things that I like to do, which takes less time, is I will either hop on the treadmill or measure a kilometer around the block, and I do 3 times 1 kilometer reps at a harder pace. And each of those paces, so if I do 3 times 1 kilometer and I increase the intensity, I'll burn 80 calories in about 6 minutes. And I do that 3 times. It takes me 18 minutes, all right? So I touched a little bit yesterday on sort of high intensity workout and the afterburn factor with that. But as you can see, the amount of calories that you then expend will be more intense for that period of time. And some of you might ask, well, you know, I really want to burn energy from my fat stores. However, you've got to understand this factor, that the body will store an excess of fat as fat. It will store an excess of carbohydrates as either glycogen or glucose in your bloodstream and your muscles and in your liver. And protein it will use to repair tissues and cells and build up muscle. Alcohol, excess calories from alcohol aren't actually stored. That's the interesting part. However, they are the first to be used. So regardless of whether you're walking, running, cycling, swimming, if you've been drinking the night before, the first calories that the body will utilize are the ones from alcohol. So you're stopping your body from using the other stored energy. If you do intense exercise and you do use up your glycogen or your glucose stores, your body will pull the stores from the fat to re-establish that storage system. So I don't feel that you're missing out too much by doing that intense exercise. I think that any exercise is good, and interval training can be very helpful for a lot of people because they can't keep the intensity up. So if you're going to go out for half an hour, my suggestion is to jog from one light post lamp, excuse my words, to the other, and then walk, and then run, and then walk. So you elevate and decrease, and elevate and decrease, and elevate and decrease. And that's a really good way of increasing your calorie expenditure while you're exercising, increasing your heart rate, which is really good to do, and to actually just get out there and get some fresh air as well. So keep the questions coming. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. And if you need any further explanation on this, just let me know or send me a private message and I'll hop back on. I also have access to a full hour-long session on my, which you can book on my website on one-on-one, which can either be on a video chat using Skype or actually come into the office, which is in Auckland and Takapuna, if you're in Auckland and Takapuna. But if you're not and you're in a different country, we can arrange a time and I can talk to you one-on-one privately if you don't want to come onto a public forum. So lovely to see you again, and let me know, as I said, if you have any further questions. Have a wonderful day.